What's up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome back to another episode of TV Talk. It's Falcon and Winter Soldier time. This is we've Marvel's brilliantly done like back-to-back shows, so we just keep talking about them, and hopefully we'll get a DC or a Star Wars show on here soon. But I know we're gonna have a plethora of Star Wars in the future. But until then, let's keep talking about Marvel, the MCU extended on the small screen. Um, episode 1 just dropped last night or yesterday. And what'd you guys think?
I thought it was great. I thought it had a really strong start, not just with action. I loved the opening sequence. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was creative. But then I thought also they just did a really good job of setting up what our main characters' arcs are going to
Mm-hmm.
be. Um, they set up the story too, but the focus of it was these are what these two guys are struggling
Yeah.
with, and we're gonna go on this journey with them.
Yeah, I would agree with everything Luke said there. I just like that, I think my favorite thing about this is that it is a personal story, and WandaVision is too, but like with WandaVision, I just kept thinking about like the outside world,
Yeah.
right? Like I kept thinking of like what's away from her that we're not seeing. Whereas in this, when I watch it, I'm like, okay, these characters are having inner turmoil, but they're not impacting, the entire world.
Right.
They're just trying to figure out how to, one, deal with replacing Captain America, and two, kind of figure out how to get their lives back on track
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
after Endgame. Like
After being gone for 5 years too.
Yeah.
right, yeah, like their lives have been completely flipped. I saw a joke that said this show makes a strong case for why superheroes should unionize, and I thought that was pretty funny.
That's an awesome comment. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just kind of echo what you guys said. I think the fact that this episode was did a fantastic job at setting up each of them individually. We know that we're going to get a lot of good chemistry between them later,
Mhm.
but it does a great job of setting up what their own. Bucky with his demons, and Sam with his more familial struggles, right? And I think that's a really interesting dynamic that one of these characters is, they have a family, and their struggle is, how do I get along with them? And the other one is, well, I have no one, and I have this dark past, and so how do I make amends for that? Um, Man, the stuff with Yuri and Bucky I thought was so fantastic. But real
Hmm.
quick, I do want to. Luke mentioned the opening sequence. Really, the only action we got in this episode. How did you guys feel like that? Was that like TV quality, like what you expected? Was it MCU cinematic quality?
I mean, it wasn't like in game,
Sure.
but I mean that
Yeah.
that that thing had $300 million put into it, probably more. Who knows? Um, but the action, the visuals, and even the tone just straight up reminded me of the Winter Soldier.
Hmm.
Well, even down to the camera work.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's like shaky, like Winter
Mhm.
Soldier was. Um, yeah, I think it kind of walks that line, right? Like, and I think this is probably I'm throwing things at a wall here, but WandaVision, we kind of watched them go from like everything looks really, really good to at the end it kind of tapered off and started to look kind of
Hmm.
wonky. I wonder if maybe they realized, oh man, we're kind of burning budget here. We need to be careful. Now, also, these characters are much more grounded. There's a lot less
Mhm.
like area special effects. So,
Yeah, and I
um,
thought, like, just with the wingsuits,
yeah.
like, it looked like they're actually wingsuiting.
Yeah.
So I
Hmm.
thought that was really cool, and also if they were just in a, whatever, one of those skydiving indoor places, and they've managed to put that hologram wall around them that they used in like the Mandalorian, then good job. It looked great.
Yeah.
Another cool part of that opening scene, I think I sent it to the group. I may have just sent it to Luke, but George St. Pierre is kind of like the lead henchman in that.
Yeah.
Like he's the short dude. He's kind of got short hair. He has like a French Canadian accent. Fun fact for those who are not UFC fans, that's one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time. That's his first acting gig. He retired a couple years ago and was like, I kind of want to get into acting. And so this is like his first real thing. And I actually thought he did a pretty good job. He didn't seem like, when you see UFC fighters and wrestlers come over, it just feels like they're forcing everything. He didn't, I thought he did fine. He didn't really feel out of place. He kind of fit. So that was cool to see. Also, what a place to start.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I've never done this, but I'm a recognizable face. Can I join your show? And they're like, yeah, we're actually going to give you speaking lines too. It's like, oh, okay.
I needed to double check, but I was almost convinced for a second that was the same guy from The Winter Soldier.
Batroc the
Yeah,
Leaper.
it's not, but
I thought that
he had such a
too.
similar look that I was like, oh, like he's graduated and he's still up to no good.
He is coming back in the show. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
he
too.
survives that, so he'll be back. I'm very, very certain of that. Yeah, I thought that that opening scene with the flight suits and Sam chasing them, I thought that worked really, really well. The stunts were great. The flying in and out of helicopters, the little back and forth between Sam and his ground crew. I thought it was a really, really strong start that led into an even stronger episode, because then we get into the personal stuff.
You want to talk about anxiety? Them guys like squirrel suiting into helicopters.
Oh.
I'm like, dude, one of these guys hits this blade, man. Like, ugh. But no, I enjoyed that opening. I enjoyed the episode as a whole. That was the fastest 49-minute episode I think I've ever watched. Like it ended and I was like, oh, I thought I just watched like 20 minutes of this.
I would agree.
Yeah.
And that's a compliment. Like that's how good it was. Like I was so engrossed in everything that was going on that I didn't realize how much time was passing. Also, of course, the government sucks.
Oh, yes, of course.
Garbage.
Hey,
dude, when they did the pan out shot of Washington, D.C., you could see FedEx Field like in the distance. Washington football teams in the MCU fighting.
Yeah.
I knew you were gonna.
I was so
excited
excited
about that.
I could see it and I was like, no way. That was really cool. It's always cool when like shows that I like go to places I'm very familiar with. I always find that fun.
I mentioned this is a series that does delve into the personal, which is important. Bucky has a few scenes with someone named Yuri. How do you guys feel about Bucky's emotional in into the terms of, we've often seen him as a very stoic figure. He's been brainwashed, and here we're seeing a different side of him. How do you feel like Sebastian Stan is pulling that off?
I think he's great. I mean, you have this dude who's been trained brainwashed, but also trained to ignore that side of him, and just be a cold-blooded, ruthless assassin his whole life. And in Civil War, you kind of see that, or Winter Soldier and Civil War, you see that kind of come back to reality with the help of Steve. Well, now that like one anchor is gone. He's either 90 years old or he's dead. They weren't really super specific on that. So to see him struggle as he's like trying to make this amends, which kind of just goes against his natural instinct, I thought he did a really, really great job.
Yeah, it's interesting, like with Bucky, trying to figure out kind of who he is and where he fits now. And I think of his character he's in like this weird place because he's lost time twice.
Yeah.
Like he lost the time he was brainwashed, and then he got blipped. And so
Mhm.
he is like, that dude has no idea like where he's supposed to be or who he's supposed to be. And that is just like, that's a scary question. I feel like if personally you're dealing with something like that, that's a scary question.
Mhm.
And I watched a movie about 4 years ago. I think Sebastian Stan's one of the best actors in the business, man. And so if you're going to give him an emotional journey, I think he's going to absolutely knock it out of the park. If you haven't, watch I, Tonya.
Oh, yeah.
He's amazing. Like he's so good. I think he's going to absolutely blow this show out of the water.
Nice.
And Anthony Mackie, if you didn't think it before, I think he's got the chops to lead a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I really
Mhm.
do. He is a good actor. I remember Papa Doc back in 8 Mile. Like, I mean, we've come a long way, right? Like,
I think that
he's
just goes
he's gotten
to
really
it
good.
goes to show the strength of the casting directors, the people who to cast these. You know, this sidekicks or side characters or in the lower level heroes. You're right; they are absolutely capable of leading either a show or a movie. And the fact that we've really only had one actor change in all of the MCU, a pretty incredible feat.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm very excited to see where both those go. Now Sam, well, yeah, Sam on the emotional side of things, he has to come back to his family's business in Louisiana, deal with his sister Sarah. I thought the bank scene was pretty cringy, but I get what they were going for, and they have to set that up somehow. But yeah, I'm like it just felt, and I maybe just the sign of the times, but it just felt like it feels a little racist.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of, I think, tongue-in-cheek kind of comments like that in the show.
Yeah. Any other
I think there's
comments about Sarah and Anthony or Sam's personal quest?
I think his personal quest is good, but I think it is what makes it better is that he also has kind of two, because he has his family struggle, but his own personal struggle is not taking up the mantle of Captain America because he doesn't feel like he's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really excited to see that part kind of take off more based on the ending.
I just really cannot wait to see him in the Captain America suit. Like I'm really curious what the changes will be for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome.
Cap suit with wings.
Oh,
Sure.
dope. Speaking of Captain America, we did get our first look at the new Captain America.
Oh, U.S. agent. Screw
US
that
agent.
guy. I don't like him already.
I want to punch him in his face.
I feel like they. How do I want to say this? I can't tell if it's intentional or not yet. My gut is saying that it's intentional because he's set up to be a semi-antagonist or maybe more of an antagonist. But like I feel like they just made him look goofy so that we know we're not supposed to take him seriously.
Yeah. He's like the physical embodiment of the government. He's going to be the equivalent of Bucky and Sam punching the government in the face.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish that it wasn't
He
so
does look
obvious
funny, like
that it was like, oh, like bad guy or government gonna be bad type of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wish it was more of a mm,
Hydra kind of
kind of
thing.
where it's like, oh, like,
Yeah.
well, I can see there's good intention here. And I just don't even feel like there's good intention. And maybe that's inevitable because of the title of this. We know the theme behind the show is to get Sam the shield.
Mm.
But I think it would be more interesting if it was like, oh no, this guy's like actually a good guy, or at least it seems like he's a good guy for the majority of the runtime, and then at the end it's revealed. But it just kind of seems like right now it's like from the one shot. And again, this is all just comes down
Yeah.
to character design. It's like, oh, that guy I can't take him serious.
Yep. I think for me, like, I don't know if it was the full intention or not, but like when he's walking out and you see the A star on his back and he's carrying the shield and it's like he looks like Captain America, but the moment the camera turns on him, he has this like dumb looking smile and that like just doesn't feel like the mask
Yeah.
fits.
Yeah.
And like what I got from that was you can give anybody a red cape, but that doesn't make them Superman.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. They could do
you
some
can
good
give
stuff
somebody
with his
you can give
character.
somebody the shield.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean they're Captain America. It comes down to what they stand for, what they do, and what they believe.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna get. I think they could do a villain out of him, or they could just have him. He's kind of self-centered and just somewhere in between protagonist and antagonist. He's just kind of a.
He may just be
with you too.
a piece on the chessboard, and he's
Yeah,
not
I
really
think-
a big deal who he is. It's just that
I
it's someone else.
I think he's the representation of what Captain America started out as.
Yeah.
As like a marketing campaign. And Sam is going to watch this marketing campaign and realize like, look, I don't want to be that Captain America.
Yeah.
Like I want my actions to be what people look up to, not the marketing campaigns and the appearances I make.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this will just kind of teach Sam the kind of hero he wants to be is not in the public eye. And so I'm very interested.
And we've even in the trailer we even get him going to a football game and doing
right
that type
and like
showmanship.
Bucky saw all that. Like Bucky knows that's why Bucky's always so apprehensive about any kind of Captain America talk, at least to this point in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
But like Sam didn't get to see that. Like Sam was just not even a thought back then. So I think it's kind of cool that we kind of get to rehash that storyline a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the government's all about silencing worries and doubts and making sure that, you know, the people feel safe, like in this. And so that's why U.S. Agent, I guess, is around. But I think more of, like Luke was talking about, Sam's journey is, you know, not feeling like he deserves to be Captain America. I think he'll learn that I don't have to be Captain America. I can be my own hero.
Yep.
By way of the U.S. Agent storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
U.S. Agent is gonna become inspired or something to go out. He's gonna get absolutely dome rocked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One shot headshot out of play.
Yeah. We real quick before we wrap up here, we did get a brief glimpse of one of the antagonist groups.
Yeah.
The Red Hand group. I don't know what they're called. I'm not that much into the comics.
Is it the Hand?
It's called like, well, we have the Hand, the Foot. Now we need something else. No, they had a line. I think it has something with flag in the title.
Flag Smashers.
Yes.
Here we go. We see a brief operation with them, and someone who I wasn't expecting more of after kind of that first scene was our our secret our army friend or secret agent friend.
Yeah.
Not remember his name.
Secret Agent Man. Sorry.
I was glad he wasn't just a one and done character because I did enjoy him and I'm glad hopefully he's sticking around.
That
throughout.
scene, I thought that scene was done really well because I couldn't really tell if he was good or bad in that moment. Like when he puts the mask on, I was like, "Oh, okay, this guy sucks."
Do you know what we're supposed to be doing here?
Yeah, when he says that line, I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, he's just there." But do we think? I mean, we're kind of going back to Civil War here, but do we think that that guy with the mask who was punching people like 50 yards in the air, do we think that guy's like an experiment?
Oh yeah.
Zemo?
No. I bet Zemo recruits him. Or I bet he is a recruit of Zemo. I bet Zemo's already trying to do his thing.
Yeah, because he was. I mean, that's what he was trying to do in Civil War. He was trying to find.
Yeah.
All that stuff. So.
And I mean, he killed all of the. What were the other Winter Soldiers? Apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then again, who knows? Maybe he lied.
I'd say that could be be rewritten pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
He found another lab.
Yeah. Oh gosh. The Russians always have another lab, right?
Right.
There's always another lab.
The Russians are the Nazis.
Luke,
you'll find another lab somewhere.
In your text message last night, you mentioned the score.
Yes. So this was this made me really happy. Henry Jackman, who did the score for Winter Soldier and Civil War, came back to do the score and soundtrack for this. And I'm glad because he took the Captain America theme from First Avenger, and I feel like he really expanded on it. Also, the Winter Soldier's theme is one of the best themes in the MCU. It is so creepy, and it's so simple, and I love it. That flashback Winter Soldier scene.
Awesome. Yeah, getting to see the old arm.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
Yeah, because we were like, what the heck is going on? And then because they don't show you the star for a while, and so you're just like, what is Bucky? And then like, okay, well maybe this is, and then you see the Soviet star, and you're like, okay, flashback. Yeah, this is how they're gonna get us some real brutal action.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now, all in all, man, very strong first episode. I'm excited about this. Is this a 6 episode run? Yeah. That sucks. I want it to be like 15 because I like these characters a lot. Yeah. They're 2 of my favorites in the MCU.
Yeah. Yeah, they're both real good.
A good run. But yeah, fortunately, a little shorter than even what WandaVision was. Although we may get more total time. Because these episodes are running a little longer than what WandaVision is running. But yeah, very excited for next week. We'll be back with another talk about episode 2. And until then, you can go to whatthefanboy.com and check out all our other stuff. Here on Monday, day it is.
It's 20th today.
So the 23rd.
22nd.
Monday the 22nd. We will be doing our Zack Snyder's Justice League review over on Twitch. Or you can listen to it on the podcast later. Or find it here on YouTube later. So
it'll be a big one.
It's going to be awesome. And until then, we'll see you guys.
See ya.